Oh boy, I almost forgot about SimStories. Last time I did this was more than a year ago about my trip to a volcano. Now I felt bad for forgetting it because this is like one of the more original concepts than my other videos in my opinion. So, have you guys ever had any near-death experience? You know, maybe something like you were almost hit by a car but you forgot that you're in The Sims and cars can just go through you? Nah, I'm just kidding, but well, you get the point anyway. And if you've never had one, well, consider yourself really lucky. If you had, so had I. Can you guess what it is? Well, I mean, you can already tell from the title of the video anyway, so let's just dive into it. Okay, never mind. You see, I was maybe around 5 or 6 years old that time. I can't remember the exact age, but I was pretty young. So in the family, there's my dad, my mom, and 2 of my older brothers. Yeah, I'm the youngest one in the family, and you would want to know the suffering I had to experience throughout my life being the youngest. Back then, we lived in the city located on East Kalimantan, Indonesia, in the Borneo Island because my dad was assigned to work there. Oh yeah, if you still don't know that I'm actually Indonesian this whole time, well, kemana aja lu? Okay, so one day, my dad was planning for us to go somewhere together, and it happens to be a swimming pool. The swimming pool is located in the middle of a 5-star hotel, so it was pretty big, and so was the pool. And I think the hotel allowed non-guests to use the pool as well, but of course we still have to pay. We agreed to go there because, well, who doesn't want to go swimming? I mean, it's the funnest, is that even a word? Funnest, that doesn't sound quite good in the ear. Oh yeah, it's the most fun activity ever. Plus, I was still a kid back then, so it was even more fun to me. We went there with our car and we finally arrived in the hotel. My parents went to the receptionist to pay and stuff while the 3 of us excitedly ran straight to the swimming pool area, put our things and immediately changed our clothing to swimwear because we were that excited. But we waited for our parents to come first before taking a dip. Then my dad started changing to swimwear as well. But my mom wasn't planning to go swimming in the first place, so throughout the time she was just sitting there, watching us from the distance, reading a magazine or her, I don't know, mom stuff. Yeah, we still use magazines to distract ourselves instead of smartphones back then. Whoa, shocking, right? Basically, the pool was divided into 2 sections. The shallow pool with water slides, water playground, sprinklers, and all that, and a boring adult swimming pool with deep water and nothing else. Also, for some reason, there are no other people around, so it was just us. Of course, I have to stay in the shallow pool because I still can't swim that time. My mom also brought me the swim tube because even the kiddie pool has a deeper section. And I remember that it was exactly a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle themed swim tube. I don't know why I still remember that specific detail until now. Anyway, I and 2 of my brothers started playing around in the shallow pool first, while my dad started swimming around in the boring adult swimming pool. We had some fun there. We splashed around, played on the water tower, slid on the water slide several times. Just some usual stuff kids do in the pool. But after some time, my brother started to get bored of it. Hey, what if we go to the deeper pool? It's getting pretty stale here. Oh yeah, that's a great idea. I want to swim around for real. Alright, but Abi, you know mom didn't let you swim in the deep pool because you can't swim at all. So you have to stay here and be a good little brother, okay? I was pretty bummed about it, but I accepted my fate anyway. Then they proceeded to leave the fun shallow pool and jump straight into that boring old deep pool. So there I was, playing by myself, alone while my brothers are having the time of their life on the deep pool. It didn't take long for me to get extremely bored after that. From then on, I just spent most of my time watching people having fun from the other side. Finally, I thought to myself, I can't take it anymore. I need to go to the deep pool no matter what. But to make it happen, I need to be sneaky first. Ooh. First, I had to make sure my mom wasn't watching me that time. So I took a look on my mom to check and turned out that she was still reading the magazine. Perfect. I then rushed into the deep pool along with my swim tube because I can swim as I said before. I jumped straight to it and oh, it feels so great. The water is colder and fresher and I felt more free because my legs weren't even reaching the bottom of the pool. But that's not it. I need to swim to my brothers who are currently on the other corner of the pool playing around. So I started pedaling my hands and legs as hard as I can to push the water away and begin moving. I paddled and paddled and paddled until I ran out of energy. Oh, it was so exhausting. I felt like I'd swum the entire ocean that time. but turned out that it was just around 3 meters away from my starting point. And from then on, I know that this isn't gonna be like a walk in the park. Okay, you know what? Just a second. I'm really annoyed by how the tube look in this entire clip. I mean, just look at how ridiculous it looks. Alright, here, I'll give him a better tube. Now that's more like it. Anyway, back to the story. I started resting on my tube to regain my energy before paddling again. Though from the start, I kind of felt that the tube is too big for my size, so I struggled a bit to get the hang of it and stay afloat. After I took some time, I regained my energy back and started paddling again. And this is when the whole accident started to happen. Once I tried to move myself along with the tube, my hand slipped from it and I immediately fell into the depths of the water. I didn't even have the slightest time to create some noise or scream for help because I just literally got sucked into it, as if someone pulled my legs and dragged me into the water. So yeah, at this point I was fully submerged in the water. You might be thinking that it was like, so this is it, right? This is how I'm going to die. And then my life starts flashing right into my eyes and all sort of that. But it wasn't like that. Well, yeah, sure, I still was terrified and tried gasping for air that time. But on the other hand, I was also thinking, wow, this looks like I'm in a movie, like in Titanic or Jaws. So cool. Yeah, kids' minds are unpredictable sometimes. While I was already in the midst of facing my imminent doom, I saw a hazy figure slowly coming towards me. Young me probably thought it was the Grim Reaper ready to rip my soul and all, but fortunately it was actually my dad swimming towards me trying to save me from drowning. He then grabbed my body and then brought me back to surface. So after I finally got out of there, I saw my brother gathering around me and my mom near the poolside with her clothes fully drenched with water. My family then rushed me into the hotel's clinic and gave me a glass of water there while I was recovering. After I got a bit better, my mom told me how I got saved. So it turned out that my mom, who was reading a magazine on the poolside most of the time, was actually watching us swimming on the exact time I almost drowned instead. And when she found out that the tube I used got empty all of the sudden, she went into full panic mode and shouted at my dad to rescue me. And at the same time, she tried to enter the pool as well while still wearing her current clothing even though my dad rescued me anyway. That's why she was fully wet when I resurfaced. The doctor in the clinic stated that if my mom wasn't paying attention that time, I wouldn't even make it. Every now and then, we always bring that story up at random times. And every time I talk about it, I always think that it's just so surreal that I was so close to death. To never being able to continue my life, go to university, or even start this fairy channel in the first place. So yeah, love you mom, and dad as well of course. So hey guys, thanks for watching another SimStories video. First of all, if you don't know what's all of this about, basically this is like one of those storytelling animation type of videos similar to, you know, The Odd Ones Out, Jaden Animations and other animation channel, but since I can't animate, I use The Sims instead. I might make more of this later because it's kind of fun to make. Thank you guys for watching and see you later.